Real Madrid versus Barcelona. Who has the best 11 right now? What is going on, guys? Welcome to another video. Today, we're going to be talking about Real Madrid and Barcelona's best starting 11. Obviously, we know they're going to be playing each other in El Clasico very soon in the final. So I quickly want to talk about who has the best lineup. I'm going to make my best starting 11 from both teams and see who is in the lineup. Without further ado, if you guys are excited and if you guys are Barca or Madrid fans, I appreciate you guys for clicking on this video. Let me know in the comments quickly, who do you guys think is going to win? And leave the score down below. My prediction, honestly, I'm obviously gonna take Madrid to take it over Barca 3-1. Vinny is gonna score tomorrow. I think Bellingham will score, and I think Valverde will score. And then from Barca's side, I think the person who's gonna score is gonna be Lamine Yamal. Very controversial, but very interesting game that's gonna happen. But let's talk about the starting 11 and who's coming better into the team. But before we do that, drop a like on the video. I really would appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Here we talk about football, Madrid, Barca, and all the good things football. Play a little bit of FC24. But starting off right away, guys, we're gonna talk about the starting 11 predicted. This is predicted, so there's obviously nothing official until the lineups are out. Let's start with Real Madrid. Lunin is predicted to be in goal, but I mean, knowing Ancelotti, we already know this guy is gonna give Kepa this super cup. I'm kind of 50-50, but I'm gonna say Lunin. I want to say Lunin. And then on the left back side, Mendy is definitely gonna start on the left back. Two center backs is probably gonna be Nacho and Rudiger, even though I kind of would prefer that it would be Rudiger and Tchouaméni and then have Camavinga as a center defensive mid, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So Nacho, Rudiger, center backs, and then Carvajal, the best right back in my opinion in the world, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. In the center, we play with usually three midfielders, one center defensive mid or a pivot, and then two kind of center mids: Valverde, Tchouaméni, and Toni Kroos. Now Ancelotti has already said Toni Kroos is gonna be playing this game, so there's that. And then Tchouaméni and then Valverde, really you can't take these guys off. I mean, we have Camavinga on the bench. He kind of is a super sub right now for us, which is great. And then we have our center attacking mid, and that is Jude Bellingham, and then the two strikers up top, Vinny and Rodrigo. That is the starting 11 for Real Madrid. Possibly, again, anything could happen, anything could change. Now we're going to talk about Barcelona. And I'm not a Barca fan, but this is just kind of going what the website says. So Iñaki Peña, goalkeeper. I think that's obviously the only option you guys have, but it's a solid option nevertheless, guys. All day left back, Christensen and Araujo in the center, and then Koundé on the right. Even though you guys have Cancelo, honestly, I think Koundé starts center back and Araujo starts on the right back, and maybe they'll rotate between games depending on how dangerous Vinny is, because obviously Araujo and Vinny have been paired up the whole, like, the last 5 El Clásicos, 4 El Clásicos. So that's, I think, the way that Xavi's gonna set it up. And then midfield, I think Pedri is going to start this game, especially after the game against Osasuna. I saw Pedri, he looked pretty good, especially coming off of injury. He looked pretty good. Gundogan is probably gonna be your guys' pivot with De Jong as well. I'm not sure if maybe they'll rotate. Definitely gonna be the 3 midfielders though. It's an insane midfield, by the way. And then Lewandowski, Joao Felix, and Lamine Yamal on the right wing. Obviously Rafinha is injured, so Lamine Yamal kind of goes into that position. That is the starting 11s that I think, and everyone's kind of predicting. My opinion, I think, and this is not just because I'm a Real Madrid fan, I think that Real Madrid comes into this game a little bit with more confidence. Now I am gonna say one thing: when it comes to Madrid and Barca, everything gets thrown out of the window, guys. Madrid can literally come into this game with 10-20 game win streak, and then Barca coming into this game with doubts, but out of nowhere, the dynamic, maybe the pressure, Barca plays like prime Barca. So I honestly don't know. I mean, I'm on paper, you're gonna say Madrid comes in better, but I mean, when it comes to the game time, I think honestly it's gonna be a good game. Barca's gonna want to hold on to the ball. Madrid's gonna probably try to play on the counter, but then again, things can change. Maybe this game Madrid decides to just play pace, physicality, and just going for it. So it's kind of tough to decide, but I mean, I'm just gonna go with the on paper decision, and I'm gonna say Madrid comes into this a little bit better, especially after that win against Atletico. That was a huge win. Now it's time to decide who is my personal starting 11 from both teams. Now, obviously, goalkeeper Iñaki Peña and Lunin. The only reason I'm going to give it to Iñaki Peña is because right now Lunin and Kepa, they're kind of in this limbo where they're not even sure who's gonna play, who's doing better, because they don't get consistent game time. Lunin plays 2 games and then gets benched. Ancelotti wants to give Kepa game time, and Kepa plays a game or 2 and then gets benched, so they're not getting consistent game time. Iñaki Peña has been getting consistent. Not only that, but this dude has been making some crazy saves. Iñaki Peña is going to be my goalkeeper for the starting 11. On the left back, Mendy or Balde. Mendy this season season has found, I think, his rhythm again with Real Madrid, especially kind of getting over the injuries. You know, knock on wood, that doesn't happen again. And Balde is kind of a player. It's a different player. Balde is more of an attacking-minded player. Mendy is more defensive. I'm gonna give this to Mendy because Mendy just has been great defensively as well. And then attacking, well, he has his little moments here and there. Balde has not been the Balde from last season. So this is why I'm gonna give Mendy the left back spot. For the center backs, I'm gonna do Rudiger versus Christensen. Really no competition right there, guys. Rudiger this season has been absolutely insane. I want to put him up there with the top 3 center backs in the world right now. In the world. And I think a lot of you guys might agree with me as well. And the Christensen, I mean, you know, he's a good center back, but not better than Rudiger. And then we got Nacho Fernandez versus Araujo. I'm gonna give it to Araujo. Araujo is definitely top 3 in the world, maybe even the 1 or 2. He's up there. And Nacho has not been the same player from the season after seasons that we've been getting, where he just, every time he comes in, he bosses everything. So this season, I think he's been a little bit more mid, I would say. So Araujo and Rudiger are going to be the starting center backs for the starting 11. And then the last but not least, we have Carvajal and Koundé or Cancelo. I think it's going to be Koundé. Koundé has been really inconsistent this season, I think, for Barca. He has had his moments, good moments, but he has a lot of bad moments. I would say more scrappy moments. And Carvajal has been absolutely insane for Real Madrid. I mean, despite even getting injured, this guy is just, I mean, I don't know what's going on. This might not even be Carvajal. Someone has to check, make sure that he's not wearing a mask, because this Carvajal version is prime Carvajal, and he's already, I forget the age exactly, but he's, I think, in the 32s or 33s. So crazy stuff right there. Carvajal taking the right back spot. Moving into the midfield, we have Tchouaméni and De Jong. Now, Frenkie De Jong, very different player from Tchouaméni. Obviously, Tchouaméni is more of a physicality kind of player, and then De Jong is very much a technical player. You ask me who I want right now in my center defensive mid or center like pivot kind of position, I'm gonna take Frenkie De Jong any day of the week, guys. Frenkie De Jong is just a freaking unit. I love Tchouaméni, but Frenkie De Jong is taking that position. We're gonna match up Toni Kroos with Gundogan, since we're not gonna do Toni Kroos versus Pedri, or we're not gonna do Gundogan versus Fede, because it's just not, it doesn't, you know, link up. So very tough. It's close, but honestly, it's not that close, if that makes sense. Gundogan has been decent for this Barca team this season. He has had his moments here and there, but the way that Toni Kroos is playing recently, there's no way he's his age. This guy's game style, and maybe it's just because of the way he plays, he doesn't need to be physically crazy in the field. That's why I'm gonna pick Toni Kroos over Gundogan, and that's going to be the second midfielder. The last midfielder, Valverde or Pedri, is a tough one, guys, because they're not similar at all. Pedri, kind of same thing with Kroos and Gundogan. Pedri is all technical, all skill, all technique and magic. Fede is just a machine. It's almost like a car. Let's say, for example, like a Ferrari. Like, Fede is the engine in the Ferrari, but Pedri is all the class and technique and all the unique stuff that's in the Ferrari. I don't know. I'm just using any car, to be honest. Ferrari might not even be that good example, but you know what I mean. So it's a very different to kind of pair them up together. It's honestly not even fair. I mean, Fede this season has been insane as well. So just because I don't want to have that many Real Madrid players on the field, I'm gonna give it to Pedri. But honestly, it's like this. It's like, I would not be mad at you if you pick Fede, and obviously I'm not mad at you if you pick Pedri, because I think they're both really good players in their different styles. It kind of hurts me to take Fede out, but we're gonna roll with it. Now the strikers or attackers is a little different, because obviously Real Madrid is not playing with a winger or left wing, or they're not doing it like that this season. So it's gonna be Vinny versus Joao Felix. And honestly, Vinny, this is actually a closer one than I think, because Vinny this season has been, I don't want to say bad, he hasn't been great like the seasons before, you know, but he has been, I would say, just a little bit above average. And then Joao Felix, kind of the same thing. He's been good at times, and then there's times where like he's been really bad. It's a tie, man. It's almost like a tie, but I'm gonna give it to Vinny. Just I'm gonna give a little bit personal preference right there, since they're so closely rated. So we're gonna put Vinny there. Next up, we have Rodrigo and Lewandowski. Ooh, man, that is tough. That is tough, guys, because Lewandowski has actually not been that great for Barca. And any other day that Lewandowski has been great, I would have just said Lewandowski over Rodrigo easy. I mean, not anything wrong with Rodrigo. I think Rodrigo is one of our best players. I mean, his dribbling is insane. The way he moves around, and his scoring recently has been pretty good as well. But just because Lewandowski, I think, has been really mid, a little bit under mid, if that even makes sense, I'm gonna give that to Rodrigo. And again, this could be just because I'm a Madrid fan, but I just genuinely think I would take right now Rodrigo over Lewandowski. And then last but not least, we have Bellingham and Lamine Yamal. It would have been Rafinha if Rafinha was in there, but it's not. So obviously this is no competition at all. We're giving it to Bellingham. Lamine Yamal, nothing against him. He just scored his second goal as well. And again, nothing against him. I think he's an insane talent for Barca, but against Jude, I don't think it's comparable. So that is my starting 11, guys. Let's go over it really quickly. We have Iñaki Peña in the goalkeeper spot, Mendy on the left back. I have Rudiger and Araujo as the center backs, Carvajal as the right back. In the center mid, I have De Jong, I have Toni Kroos and Pedri, and then in our attack, I have Vinny, Jude, and Rodrigo. That is that is a lot of Madrid players. But again, this is just my opinion. You guys let me know in the comments who you guys think you would take instead. We'll see what happens in the Clásico. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like on the video and hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.